Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Yomesh Gupta, and today we are going to start a new series. This series will be called Front End Handbook, and it would be different from all the programming content we have done so far. In this series, we are not going to deep dive into code or any interview question, but rather we will take a look at the topics that will help you in career advancement, help you develop the logical thinking part, and things you will encounter in day to day work life. And you know, this series will have a very holistic and very casual conversation about software engineering, keeping front end in the focus. We will talk about interview preparation, resumes, referrals, open source projects. We will talk about side projects. We will have people over from different good product companies that can share their experiences, their projects, and how those things can help you, their guidance. And a lot of interesting content in this series is going to come up. So, without wasting any time, let's get started. So, in this first video, we are going to talk about interview preparation. We are going to discuss a lot of things like how to structure your job search, how to work on your resume, and what kind of rounds are there, what kind of questions are asked, and what are some of the resources which you can use to prepare, and in all these things related to interview preparation. Obviously, the things and resources I'm going to share, those are based on my work experience and things I've seen in my circle. So please take all this with a grain of salt. Uh, mm, it might be possible that not everything is applicable to you, but mostly it would be relatable. If you feel anything is wrong, or if you want to modify anything or want to add on to anything, then please do mention in the comments. Do reach out to me. We can have a very open, frank conversation about it. So let's get started. So first part in the interview process is search, which even before your process, in the interview preparation stage, the first part is search. Now, here I've mentioned four major things in the search process. There are many more things, but these are the major things which I would like to focus as of now. The first one would be understand your requirements. So you are the one who's seeking the job. You are the one who's going to answer those questions and multiple times in different interviews. So it's better that you have clarity of thought. You need to know why you are switching. What tech stack do you want to work with? I mean, these questions like these, like, are you switching for growth, are you switching for compensation, maybe culture fit, anything. So whatever it is, that you need to have clarity on these questions. You need to know what tech stack do you want to work with. Some people like to work with anything. Some people have a they say that they like React or maybe Angular, and they want to work in a certain technology, and some people don't. But as long as you know what you want. And now the next part would be what domain you want to work in. Do you want to work in front end? Do you want to work in back end, mobile development, DevOps, database engineer, whatever it is? You cannot just mention that I can work with anything. You need to have some forte, because a lot of large companies, they have a very clear demarcation in front end teams and back end teams. So you need to know where your true calling lies and where you want to work. And the next part would be, how do you define a good job? I mean, you need to set up some criteria. Uh, for some people, a good job would be where they have learning, but and it's not too grilling. For some people, I mean, they don't mind putting a lot of hours. Uh, some people like work-life balance. Some people like a good job which pays a lot. So you need to know what do you want, so that when you walk into an interview, then you can formulate better answers, and you have your own clarity of thought. Then only you can convince someone else to hire you. Now, next part would be identify shortlist alert. Now, what do I mean by that? A, a lot of us follow certain companies, certain maybe good product companies, services based companies, and we want to work there. So it's always better that you shortlist a certain companies, write them down, follow them, what jobs they're posting. And a lot of job portals like LinkedIn, InstaHire, AngelList, or you have top hire, and so on. I mean, I'll talk about LinkedIn specifically here. That if you search on LinkedIn, let's say JavaScript or front end engineer in Bangalore, then LinkedIn will give you an option to set up an alert against this. So now, whenever there is new jobs or uh, popular jobs in this particular search related to this particular search term, then LinkedIn will send you a mail in directly in your inbox regarding that on recurring basis. Similarly to these job portals, companies like, let's say, Google, Facebook, Amazon, they have their own job portals also where you can sign up. And let's say on Google, if you search for UX engineer or UI engineer, then Google will also give you an option that you can search there by skills, you can search there by location. Then Google will also give you an option to set up set up alerts against those search terms. So now, if in Google any UX engineer jobs open up, then they'll send you a mail directly to your inbox. So it's in such cases, it's always better to know as soon as possible rather than knowing at a time when already 200, 300, 500,000, 2,000 folks have already applied for that job. So it's always better to be early in these cases. Now, the next thing would be do not skip levels. I mean, if you are a front end engineer or a software development engineer, then you can obviously apply for senior software engineer, senior front end. But it is, I mean, this is my personal advice here. Never skip levels too much. I mean, from a front end engineer, never apply for a staff engineer or a architect role. Or I've seen a lot of freshers doing that just because they want to get their foot in the door. They just want to be there, and a lot of people do that in uh, you can say, if they want more money, that for higher roles they'll get more compensation, and they do that. But the issue here would be that for a staff engineer or architect roles with where a certain work experience is a prerequisite, now problem arises is that if you go to a firm or an interview as a front end engineer, then you would be the expectation would be that you could write a certain level of code, you can implement certain level of problem statements. But if you are a staff engineer or architect, then the problem statement changes entirely. Maybe you are given a very high level problem statement and you have to come up with entire plans. You have to come up with how you have to work on team building, you have to work on the action items and a lot of strategy also. So just for the sake of money or just for the sake of the title, you apply to higher roles and you're not able to meet that criteria. So your CV will not get shortlisted, and you will if in best case scenario, if your CV gets shortlisted in the interview, you would be out very soon. So always be mindful, find what jobs work for you and apply to those. Now you know your requirements, you have identified the jobs and set up alerts, you are applying to the right job. Now, how to apply? You can directly go to the website and apply. One better way would be to all ask for referrals. Now, there are some basic rules to asking for a referral. You have to do your homework before asking for a referral. You cannot just slide into someone's inbox or messages and say that I want to work in your esteemed organization. Um, so please find a good job for me. I mean, it's not their duty to find a job for you. They have their own priorities. They have their own Jira tasks, their own deadlines to meet. For they will not, put so much effort and find job for each one of you or one of us. So, uh, in that case, be respectful, be polite, share some context. If you can find the role which you are looking out for, if you see an opening, then share that link, share your CV, share a brief context why you are best suited for the job. Because no one, if I get or if anyone, even if you get like 40, 50 CVs, then you're not going to take all those 50 CVs and upload in your system. You have a funnel on of your own where you shortlist people based on what content they shared with you, how's their CV, and maybe refer 4 5 folks, 10 folks. And uh, so because when I refer someone, my name is also going with them and same goes with other people. So it's always better that you share some sort of context that why you're best suited for the job and how you can make an impact in the job, so that I'm more confident while referring you. So these are the major pointers in the search process. If you want to add something, then do mention in the comments. So next step would be resume. uh, First of all, I'm no resume or CV expert. These are just some observations I've made along the way, and I am sharing that with you as of now. So the first and the most, you can say the golden rule here would be do not lie. Always write things with that you're comfortable with, you have worked upon, and you have a knowledge about deep knowledge about those things. Just for the sake of it, do not mention jargons like I know machine learning, I know artificial intelligence, I know this technology or that technology, because a good interviewer will always see through it. I mean, they might not mention in front of you that their direct feedback, but when the team sits for a sit they will mention that the certain person wrote a certain thing, that they have worked on this project, but when I asked them certain question, that they were not able to answer. So always be truthful and always write things you know and you can explain well. So be thorough about your CV, uh, what you have done, and all those things. Now the next part is refine and personalization. So if you look at it, any job in the world, anything you do in your, you know, in your company also, or in especially in the interview process, everything is a sales job at the end of the day. You when a company is trying to sell itself as the best workplace possible, they are trying to attract talent. So they will tell you that we have these benefits, we have so many great folks, we provide this, we provide that, we work on the cutting edge technology, and so on. At the same time, you are trying to sell your skills and your experience to that company. You are trying to showcase to them that you are best suited, you are the best person for the job. So at the end of the day, you are selling a product, and that product is you. And just like you buy, I mean, if you buy anything in the market or anything, the best product for any user is a product that is tailor made for the user. So now what do I mean by that? I mean here is that when you have a CV, then to every place, don't just send a very generic CV, one CV for like one fit solution for all. That it's not. Don't do that. Read the JD job description, understand what the company is trying to look for, what type of people they want to hire, what type of technologies they want, and if you have any prior experience in those things, maybe a company is wants to hire someone who has more experience in React. So, or maybe a company is hiring for a senior role. So, in senior role, team building and working with different stakeholders like product design, those things matter a lot. So if you have relevant experience, then highlight those things, talk about those things, personalize, so that company can see on the paper that you are the best suited for the job. The interviewer or the talent acquisition partner you are currently talking to, they can see that you are the best suited. So they'll take your process, take your CV and start jumpstart the process. Now, the next thing I'll say would be showcase your achievements. I mean, if you have worked on side projects, if you have worked on contributed to open source, then please do talk about those things. I mean, side projects or open source is not like the must. If you don't have it, then also it works. But it is always good to have, these things in your CV, especially in front end domain, because where you have visual feedback loop, that you build something and you can explicitly see the output. So if you have deployed projects, if you have built something or contributed to many open source projects out there, then that gives you an advantage. And when you do these things, when you contribute to open source or side project, then you often learn a lot of new things in your company. Let's say you join an organization, and now in that organization, a lot of times, uh, a lot of layers, maybe data layer, or how Redux is implemented, or how Redux was architect, or a lot of things are already pre-written. There are a lot of the design system is in place, and you have to use those components to build features. But when you do side projects or when you contribute to these open source and thing, you have to build a lot of things in your own side projects. You get to build your own design system, you have to solve problems, you have to think in terms of the user, that and you have to deploy those. Then you have a very holistic view of the entire end-to-end software development life cycle. So that gives you a very unique perspective. Now let's say you don't have all these, you don't have side projects in open source. Nonetheless, it's always important to share your past work and mention what impact did you make in those projects. And if possible, then quote some data. I mean, if you write in your CV, let's say you are in an organization that serves a JS bundle to the clients. Now you mentioned that you wrote in your CV that I worked on the JS bundle and I optimized it. Then optimized how? Did you just delete the master branch because no code is the best code? I mean, those things don't just. What is the optimization part here? You can mention that maybe there was no minification, or maybe there were duplication of code, or maybe we were not serving from CDN, or maybe I did a lighthouse audit, whatever it is, and I found this was. You can share before and after measurements if possible, that this was before this, and I did certain action items. And I'm not asking you to write a paragraph here, but you can quote numbers that I optimize the JS bundle and bring down the size by 40%, maybe percentage wise. So those things, wherever you can quote numbers, maybe you did implemented a feature which led to more signups. So what was the percentage change there? So these things help, people to gauge what type of difference you made. Now, the last part would be uh, keep it simple. I mean, talk about technologies you have worked on and keep it precise. Don't make a 3 page or 4 page CV. Don't over exaggerate anything. Try to be as precise as possible, uh, and share the tech stack you have worked on, and positions of responsibility you have hold, and those things. And yes, please do not. This is, I mean, I'm saying this personally. I don't like CVs where people put up their hobbies or something. I might be wrong here, but I don't think anyone wants to know that if you like swimming or if you like singing. I mean, this is not the place to mention those. I mean, in the interview, you can have a very small talk, or keep an open environment. You can discuss things, but in your CV, because that space is limited, and you have to efficiently use that space. So if you are talking about things that you like, cricket, or you like swimming, you like singing, I mean, that is just a waste of space there.